Some whales are big. Some are really big. In this video in particular, we're going to be looking at some of the most gigantic whales you'll ever see in your life. And stay tuned for number one, because number one is not only the biggest whale, but also the biggest animal in the world. Let's start. Number 10, the minke whale. The first on the list is the minke whale, which is typically a black, dark gray, or even slightly purple color. Minke whales are a type of baleen whale, which makes them carnivorous. Minke whales can be discovered in two major groups depending on where they live. The northern minke whale and the Antarctic minke whale. Minke whales can live between 40 to 50 years on average and are capable of diving up to water for a staggering 20 minutes at a time before needing to come up for air. Minke whale refers to two existing species, the northern or the common. They can reach lengths of up to 35 feet long and weigh up to 20,000 pounds. Number 9, the Bride's whale. Bride's whales belong to the family of baleen whales and are regarded as one of the royal whales or great whales. They are dark gray in color with a cream belly. Their bodies are very sleek and they have a close resemblance to a sei whale. Bride's whales also have one more ridge on the front of their blowholes than sei whales too. They have double row of baleen plates. The head and the eyes are very large. The dorsal fin is positioned far down the back. Their flippers are small and thin, and they are pelagic and coastal creatures that generally follow their food sources. They can go up to 46 feet. Number 8, the gray whale. Next on our list is the gray whale, which historically lived in both North Pacific and North Atlantic oceans, but now only lives in the Pacific. They live in relatively shallow waters over continental shelves of western North America and eastern Asia. Interestingly, though, gray whales are in fact gray, were scientifically described by a man named John Edward Gray, so it's possible that the common name is meant to honor him. They are quite large, up to 49 feet, 15 meters. Gray whales feed on small, benthic worms or other invertebrates. Though a unique feeding strategy known as suction feeding, gray whales bite off huge mouthfuls of soft sediments from the seafloor and then constrict the muscles of the mouth and throats to force out water and sand, filtering out food in their baleen. This feeding strategy is analogous to the filter feeding of other large baleen whales. 7. The sei whale. The sei whale is another baleen whale, but it can grow to a much larger than the minke whale. A sei whale can easily surpass 50 feet in length by maturity and weigh as much as 28 tons. A sei whale can be recognized by its dark gray color and its irregular white markings on the front of its body. The sei whale also boasts a slightly arched rostrum, which is one of the few things that separates its appearance from the singular Bride's whale. The sei whale can be found around the outer continental shelf and slope in the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean. And it eats about 2,000 pounds of food per day. They can dive for 5 to 20 minutes in the ocean and feed on plankton, including copepods and krill, small schooling fish, and cephalopods, including squid, by both gulping and skimming. Number 6, the humpback whale. One of the biggest and smartest creatures living in the ocean, the humpback whale spends its life on the move. It swims thousands of miles to specific bleeding, complicated songs to attract a mate. This whale is a big eater, but mainly feasts on tiny prey. It also puts on spectacular acrobatic displays when it leaps out of the water. It looks like a 45-ton rocket launching from the sea. They are literally the exact same size as the sei whale, and they go up to 52 feet in length. Obviously, They have, obviously humpback whales have the humps on their back. One of the most amazing things about a humpback whale is that it can sing. Obviously, it has studied that this whale songs for decades, but still don't fully understand what all the sounds mean. Males of this species dive down to about 60 feet, point their tails toward the surface, and point their tails towards the surface and squeal out one of at least 120 different tunes in order to attract a mate. The song of a humpback whale can be heard from up to 115 miles away. Number 5, the bowhead whale. Baleen whales are known to be some of the largest animals on Earth, and the bowhead whale is no exception. These whales are on average 50 feet long and weigh 60 to 80 tons. Rows of vertical baleen or comb-like teeth that help the bowhead strain huge volumes of water to capture food. The largest of any whale. They are the largest of any whale at almost 175 inches long. Additionally, a bowhead whale's skull can take off almost a third of its body length, which helps the whale punch through sea ice almost 8 inches thick. But that does not mean that whales swim unscathed. They have many scars on their bodies from these ice, and these markings help scientists identify the whales. Number 4, the right whale. If you ever see a right whale leaping out of the water, it might try to say something. This whale lives in groups called pods and has several ways of communicating with its pod members, often creating huge splashes that other right whales will hear. This creature also moans and belches, signaling that it has found food, and that's an important whale message. The creature needs 1,500 pounds of tiny sea creatures called plankton and krill to fuel its body every day. This huge aquatic mammal uses its 2,000-pound muscular tongue to scrape plankton from its baleen and swallow it. The right whale's tongue is also agile enough to flick out seaweed and other material that the animal cannot eat. Right whales go for up to 60 feet in length or 20.5 meters. Number 3, the sperm whale. The largest of all toothed whales, the sperm whale can dive longer, faster, and deeper than any other mammal in the world. Sperm whales regularly descend to depths of 3,000 feet to find squid, their favorite prey. The average whale dives several times a day, consuming 2,000 pounds of food. A whale's lower teeth can measure 8 inches long and weigh 2 pounds each. Many believe that the whale attracts prey with the bright white of its menacing smile. The whale's huge head can make up a third total of its body length, and its head houses the wax-filled spermaceti organ, cooling or heating the wax, enabling the whale to dive to the surface more easily. They have the biggest brain of any animal in the world and are 67 feet long. Number 2, the fin whale. Fin whales are literally only 8 feet shorter than the number 1 whale at 90 feet in length or 27.5 meters. With others of its kind in groups that work together to find food and stay safe from enemies. Though huge, this monstrous mammal feeds on some of the tiniest sea animals, and it swallows a couple tons of them per day. If challenged by a predator, the whale can zoom off or even stay and fight with blows from its massive tail. Though the fin whale tips the scales at 200,000 pounds, this aquatic mammal eats tiny prey, shrimp-like animals called krill. The whale can gulp down to 4,000 pounds of krill per day, which equals about 1.5 million individual krill. This beast eats by taking mouthfuls of seawater and then forcing the water back out, which is filter feeding, if you didn't know that. And finally, at number 1, we have the blue whale. The blue whale is the biggest animal that has ever lived, and everything about this mammal is gigantic. Measuring up to technically 100 feet, this gentle giant is about as long as 3 train cars and weighs about 4 times more than the heaviest known dinosaur did. This massive creature's tongue is so big that an elephant could stand on it, and its heart is the size of a small car. Like we said before, they technically go up to 100 feet, and they weigh up to 300,000 pounds. Instead of teeth, the blue whale has up to 400 baleen plates that hang from its upper jaw. These plates are made of keratin, just like human fingernails, and act as a strainer to catch millions of krill. Baleen whales have 2 blowholes, unlike toothed whales, which only have 1. When a blue whale resurfaces after a dive, it blows stale air into the water 30 feet into the sky. This can get pretty loud. A blue whale's blow can often be heard several miles away. And not only are they the loudest, not only are they the biggest animal of all time and the biggest whale in the world, they're also the loudest animal of all time, which to prove it, their call can reach 180 decibels, which is as loud as a jet plane. Anyways, that is it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.